Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an article discussing the developments in Kosovo or between the Serbian population in northern Kosovo and the authorities of Kosovo and the some statements made by the Ukrainian officials that I think they are very low intelligence. But let's see how this article goes. This article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine, and it's from August 2nd, 2022. This is the title. Ukraine welcomes Kosovo's decision to postpone, not forget about, postpone Serb car re-registration, and I'm quoting, disrupting Russia's plans for escalation in Balkans. All right. So the ministry said Pristina's decision was a compromise and called on the parties to enter a constructive dialogue for the security of all citizens, the preservation of peace, and to guarantee the stable development of the Western Balkans. That's words. We know we're going to end up fighting over there, not we, they. And I'm quoting, it is also important not to give the Russian Federation space to implement its policy of escalation in the region, the ministry added. Kosovo is partially recognized Balkan state, the independence of which has been recognized by more than 100 UN member states, although Ukraine is not one of them. Did you hear that? Ukraine did not recognize the existence of the independence of Kosovo. Serbia does not recognize Kosovo's independence, considering it an autonomous region of Serbia called Kosovo and Metohija, maybe Metohija, one of these. Ethnic Serbs in the north of Kosovo also do not recognize the authorities in Pristina and use Serbian documents and car license plates. An agreement between Serbia and Kosovo concluded in 2011 provided for the temporary, for a period of 5 years, use of neutral documents and license plates by residents of northern Kosovo. From August 1st, 2022, neutral or Serbian documents in Kosovo were to become invalid, and all Serbian citizens were to receive an additional document allowing entry at the border. The same measure is already in force in Serbia for people from Kosovo with Kosovo documents. However, on July 31st, the day before the new rules took effect, Serbs in Kosovo blocked a number of key roads and border crossings. Kosovo police later reported shots being fired by Serbian protesters as well as clashes with Kosovo Albanians. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić made several late-night addresses declaring that, and I'm quoting, "We have never been in a more difficult situation than today." On the night of August 1st, the Kosovo government postponed the decision on the re-registration of cars with Serbian license plate and licenses until September 1st. They're regrouping right now. They're getting, their ducks in a row ready for boom. After the decision, the protesters dismantled some of the barricades which allowed 2 border crossing points with Serbia to reopen. Okay, now Kosovo's Interior Ministry said that 11 civilians had been injured as a result of the border incident. Were they injured with that, or injured with this, or injured with just that? Okay, so that was this understanding, or there was signed agreement that would have expire, and the Kosovo administration leaders, they said, well, from this day on, you have to, since that expires, you have to obey or abide by these new rules. Now, the will of the people said something else. They didn't like that. They didn't want it. So they protested. These guys, asked their bosses. NATO said that if that escalates, they will intervene. The defensive alliance that has 3,700 troops in the area, over there, as a peacekeeping force. You know what I mean? So NATO, Defensive Alliance. I don't know who attacked NATO to be over there, but maybe just got a new department of not defensive but offensive department. This is the offensive department. So I have an analogy here. Now, well, maybe the analogy is not going to be right on target, but I want you to make I want to make a point based on the title. And the title was Ukraine welcomes Kosovo's decision to postpone Serbs' car re-registration because disrupting Russians' plans for escalation in Balkans. All right. So that means somehow Russia pushed this, pushed the barricades and the Serbs to revolt or, you know, oppose this policy. I don't have any evidence. They didn't provide any evidence. Nevertheless, I'm going to give you another analogy here. We're in the United States of America, and we have a big population, big minority as of now, of let's say Mexicans. All right, not let's say Mexican population. Okay, mostly in the Southwest, and not only, but there is in some states I think they're a majority already. So at one point, let's say the US government decides to require each and every woman or man of Mexican or how you want to call it, Latino, and I'm not going to lose myself in euphemism, of Mexican descent, all right, let's put it this way, to come and register as a foreign asset or foreign agent or something, just because you are, you know, just do that. And then these guys, the Mexicans, for good reasons, they say, no, we're not going to do this. And they start protesting, they start doing like other people did in Minnesota, you know, but I don't think they're like that. So they protest, they do this, they do that. And after a while, the US government said, man, we created so much problem here with these guys, you know. Then you have the, you know, the Mexican president, Obrador, saying, hey, what's going on in the United States? That's not right, that's not okay. And the United States says, okay, we postpone this. And then you have Canada, you have Trudeau, that I would say a communist little drama teacher. He's congratulating the United States for not falling into the trap of Mexico for creating this kind of problems in the United States. Because Mexico was waiting for this, like the Mexico initiated the requirement of the Mexican population, people with origin in Mexico, to, you know, go and register as foreign assets. So who initiated this move? Was it Mexicans just woke up in the morning in Texas and, oh, no, we're going to go and protest now? Or it was this policy that took effect, or they wanted it to take effect? It was the policy. So that initiated it. And there was a reaction. And then Obrador said, hey, what's going on here? And the weasel up north, Trudeau, congratulates the Americans for the leadership for not falling into the, you know, into the trap of Obrador. Now, I know this is a little stretch about it, because the only thing that doesn't really fit is that this was a policy that was signed and was supposed to take effect. And these guys disagreed with it. And they showed it. That's the only thing that would happen. But they implemented it. They wanted to implement it, and the population said, no, we don't want it. I'm not going to go into details that that's in Serbia, but not in Kosovo, which is not reciprocity, so that's not right. But I'm just saying how the third party calls these guys who would have implemented that by, I don't know, not falling into the trap of Putin, the fifth party. You know, not involved in this, or maybe involved. And then you got NATO troops on the territory of these guys, who said they will intervene, and they will, how do you think they would intervene? With flowers? Hey, hello, here are some flowers for you. What do you mean intervene? That's military. When I say military, it's just to keep peace. How do they keep peace? With a threat that they're going to shoot you. That's how they keep peace. I mean, don't beat around the bushes. That's reality. If you don't do what I order you to do, I'm going to shoot. That's how military or safekeeping mission. They're over there to defend. Defend what? How will you defend? With your fist? With your thing? With what? With your weapon. So you threaten that you're going to use that to shoot. Unless you do what I tell you to do, what I order you to do. So nevertheless, here it is with, I'm glad everything for the time being settled until September 1st. And in September 1st, we're going to have a more decisive escalation. And that could be the trigger. So get your popcorn, unfortunately, and we'll see what happens. But I think, as I said many times, I give it no more than 2 years, 1 year and a half, between 1 year and a half and 2 at the most within this time frame. Over there in Balkans, something is going to happen. And I'm not talking about a festival. I'm going to talk about armed, they're going to fight militarily. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.